Hey guys, welcome back. We are going to the port up here next. In the Mystic Key stuff, we found a nitro powder, I believe it was called, and that's gonna play a part in what's coming up next. I just hope I didn't turn too far. No, I didn't. I'm actually almost there already. And now we've got to make a pretty decently sized walk. This area's got a lot of stronger monsters, I believe. At least, it's got cobras. Those aren't too difficult. I mean, this one's dead already. And down here, I believe, yeah, this way, and then there's a cave system. We are in Mount Duragar. It's filled with dwarves. And I'm gonna make them Zoidberg. Lolly-ho! They say lolly-ho and jump. Have you blethered with our Smith? His name is Smith. And the smithy he is. Where crystal eye even the blind can see. I hear that dark elf Astos pilked the one belonging to Matoya. So, I'm doing a terrible Zoidberg accent, but basically this would be like if you decided to go here instead of Elfheim, this would have been the hint that Astos has Matoya's eye. Let me try that again. The earth has started to rot. It began in the west, and now the decay spreads. And there's a guy here. If only I had some of the legendary metal amantite, I'd be able to make such a magical sword. Okay, you know what? Zoidberg's voice doesn't work with their built-in accents, so I'm just gonna do regular. We're Crystal Eye, the Blanket Sea, Matoya got lost one. Okay, Gil is in this chest. And more Gil. We're stealing your money, dwarves. Haha. I'm looking for some Levistone. It's supposed to be an amazing material that that actually floats in the air. That's actually going to play a part in the game later. Lally-ho! He didn't jump, though. That's Soond? Aye, that's an Eric. He's smushing rocks in the back of the cave. When it comes to defense, a guide armlet can be every bit as astute as body armor. You should try one out sometime. That's Soond. I heard that one already. Is this? Oh, but that means this guy probably has something different to say, right? Nope. So there's some guy named Narek who's digging in the back of the cave. And I believe this cave actually had a Mystic Key door, but I already have the Mystic Key, so getting to it's not going to be an issue. I believe that's Narek in the green, and he's going to take the nitro powder, so we're going to go ahead and grab the stuff in here. There's Worm Killer, Ether, a potion, Mithril Mail, Gil, a cottage, and a great helm, and a tent. I think all the equipment we just found is for warriors. Oh, no, Worm Killer isn't. Okay, so we got a better sword out of it, but no better armor. And this down here is a cave that Narek's trying to dig out. He's gonna tell me. Nitro powder! The explosive force in this powder will have my canal open in no time flat. I owe you, kids. And this is actually a really neat cutscene, I think. There we go. Now we can blighter this rock to smithereens. What are ye all standing around for? That powder's set to blow, unless you plan on going with it. You'd better get out whilst you can. It's really awkward to talk like that. Ooh, explosions! And ooh. Ooh. He has to be a master with that. Otherwise it'd be like a really badly controlled detonation. Yay! I cannot wait to see what lies out there beyond that canal. So now we have access to the outside. And there are a couple more ports, I believe. Yeah, there are only ports on the bottom islands. And they aren't even visible in the enlarged map, so we'll just zoom in to show there's like nothing here. There are ways to dock your ship in the northern areas, but meh, it's weird. And we're gonna go back to the boat and head here to this red town, basically. Because we're getting pretty close to the first major dungeon. Like, as far as like the dungeons that have the crystal stuff in them. But we've got to walk all the way back to the ship. And that might be a little weird depending on what kind of enemies. Depending on what kind of enemies we see here. So far we've only gotten like wargwolves and cobras, but I thought this area had more powerful enemies. I might have been wrong. I don't know. And we are finally out of... What is this, the Aldean Sea? Is that what it was called? Of course we get into combat right after we get out. So I think the sea monsters are all going to be the same through the entire world. But I'm not sure. Maybe there are stronger enemies to the north. I might be wrong. But here is a Life Spring Grotto, and there is a mermaid. Yipes, peoples! You weren't going to hurt me? Then maybe I can tell you a little about this place. This cavern is the Life Spring Grotto. Long ago, men and mermaids who fell in love could live here together in peace. And there is fetid water seeps from the statue. So this is the second cave we've found like this, and they aren't even marked on the map technically. I mean, they are, but they don't have little icons. The Earth Spring and the Life Spring Grotto, or Earth Gift and Life Spring, and they play into the game later. I'm gonna do them, but not yet. And this is Melmond. Restore the crystals to grace. The vampire attacked, destroying our church and leaving our city in shambles. Is there nothing we can do to stop the ruination of the earth? And this town is pretty wrecked. Restore the crystals to grace. What is my name? I've gone all the way here to from Durgar to find out the spring height of the earth's decay. The cave on the southern tip of the island. In the cave on the southern tip of this island continent lives a man named Sada. He's a wise man who knows much, and this is the church that got destroyed by a vampire. I've heard that the ancients possessed something with the power to make a ship float in the sky. Long ago, prosperous civilization thrived in the Northland. Now it's fallen into ruin. I'm just a farmer. If the Earth Crystal regains its glow, life will return to the Earth. The hills and valleys will again be green. Stop by my father's shop, okay? I don't know who your father is, but okay. Is there anyone in the inn? Because sometimes there are people. Maybe it was other games where there are people in the inn. Let's check across the gap. What's this guy? The giant living in the cave eats rocks. He'll eat just about any kind of rock, but I hear he especially likes gems. He can't get enough of them. We don't have a gem. There is nothing I, the great genius Dr. Do not know. What? You've never heard of me? Inconceivable! The Cavern of Earth is to the south of Melmond on a peninsula called the Devil's Tail. It used to be the closer you got to that cave, the more fertile the soil. Now it's a barren waste. And the Earth is decaying, and it's all the doing of the vampire that lives in the Cavern of Earth. Our town is in such rotten shape because he's blocking the flow of the power of Earth. Will you stop him for us? So, if you couldn't guess it by now, we are in a new town. And as always, if I'm in a new town, I like to do the whole grinding thing. However, I'm pretty much out of things to say right now. So I'm probably going to do all the grinding off screen. But I'm still going to do the whole calculation thing, because there are... I don't even know if there's a supply shop here, actually, now that I think about it. Because I see... is it up on the top? It might be. I might have just not been paying attention. There's armor, weapons... white and black magic, but there's no, like, supply shop or a sanctuary. Which means we're probably gonna have to go back to the older towns if we want to get, like, potions and stuff, and we're probably going to because we've got quite a trek ahead of us. So, I'll go ahead and stop here, do the calculation, tell you guys about it, and then, well, yeah, not much else I can say. Hey guys, so I did the calculation and it turns out we already had enough money. Which is kind of scary because it means we don't get to grind and there's some scary stuff ahead of us, but I actually already got the black magic spells we could get. So we got Firaga, which deals some fire damage to everyone, Scourge, which kills all foes but it only works on like weaker enemies. We can't get Teleport yet because we aren't a black wizard or red wizard, and Slower, which reduces one foe's number of attacks. And that's really useful against like bosses. And then for the white magic, we are going to get Curaga, which restores a lot of health to one ally. We're going to get Life, which revives one KO'd ally. And Diaga, which deals damage to well-ended foes. This is probably like the hardest... one of the hardest decisions I've actually had to make because all four of these spells are really good. But we have to make some choices somewhere, so Diaga is our thing, because we're going to have to do a lot of undead attacking coming up. And next we're going to go to the armor shop. There's no weapons we can get right now that are good for us. And we're going to buy 3 silver armlets. And we're going to equip them, of course. However, because we have like a relatively large enemy types, we've got a lot of stuff coming up ahead of us involving this little peninsula. So I'm gonna actually probably head back to the 3 earlier towns, Cornelia, Provoca, and Elfheim, and just get a few more of the basic supplies, because we need like potions and stuff. I'm thinking like 10 of each, honestly. So I'll do that off screen as well. And I guess when we come back, we're gonna head to the to one of these 2 areas, probably the cave up here, just to kind of check it out, and then head to the Cavern of Earth down here. This stuff is next, I guess, if that's... nah, whatever. But yeah, I'll see you guys then.